Good afternoon, Democrats of Greater Tucson. My name is Adam Ragan, and as you probably know, I'm one of the candidates running for the Tucson Unified School District Governing Board in the upcoming election. Now, I wish I could be there with you this afternoon. It's about 4 a.m. on Monday morning, so by the time you are watching this, I will actually be in the classroom with my students for the first time since March 13th. And I'm very excited to see my students. I've been working with them for the past 9 weeks during Q1 remotely, and today is my district's first day back for hybrid learning. So I unfortunately wasn't able to take off the time to come see you live on the video stream today, but I think you can understand and agree with me that being in the room with my students was the most important thing in developing those relationships today. So I do apologize that I'm not there with you, but it is for a good reason. I do want to thank everyone for being here, and we've got some great things to talk about. So I kind of want to share with you a little bit about myself, a little bit about why I'm running and what I hope to accomplish on the governing board, and then of course how to get in touch with me. And I'm going to try to do this in a shortened time because I recognize this is a video and I want to keep your attention as much as I can. So again, my name is Adam Ragan, and I am a classroom teacher running for the Tucson Unified School District Governing Board. I'm very excited to bring a unique perspective to the governing board that has been missing for a while. The perspective of the classroom teacher who thinks about what the students need and what his colleagues need is a big part of the discussion now more than ever. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed everything. Like I was just saying, I've been remote with my students since March 13th when we shut down, and that's been a change, and now we're rolling into hybrid. And so I'm the candidate that actually has the experience of having taught before the pandemic, during the pandemic, switching to remote, and then I'm coming over now into the hybrid, and I would like to bring that experience to the governing board because I feel like that voice could be one of the most important voices that we have guiding the decisions that the next Tucson Unified School District Governing Board is going to have to make. As a lot of you know, there are 3 open seats on the board right now that will start in January. So 3 of the 6 candidates will be elected in November, and we will take office in January. And the work has to begin day one. We have decisions to make, whether it's looking at our $500 million budget and looking at what any loss of enrollment or funding might do. We're about to get our numbers from the district to find out exactly, did we lose students? Are we only going to get 98% of our funding from prior year, and what that might actually look like? And that's going to involve some mid-year budget reallocations that start in January. So we need folks that are ready to start governing, that know the classroom, know students, know the profession on day one. Now, a little bit about me. Again, I'm a teacher. I've been involved in our local political scene and activism for education, the LGBT community, as well as several other causes, and with nonprofits and serving on boards for many years in Southern Arizona, and I never thought that I would be running for office. And a couple years ago, I decided that the teacher perspective was something that TUSD really needed. So I jumped in the race and I worked really hard, and with 2 seats open, I came third. So we just missed our seat, and I decided that I wanted to run one more time so that I could try to continue that conversation, especially now more than ever without a teacher on the board and with such important decisions being made. I thought that voice and perspective was important. I never expected a pandemic in the middle of an election, and while it has been challenging, we have had some huge successes with our campaign. We have done lit drops at tens of thousands of doors. We have put signs up across town. We have made calls, sent text messages, sent mailers. We have done a lot of outreach to reach out to the community to let them know about this race. And what's super exciting to me is that right now, at least we haven't seen the numbers yet from the recorder's office for Monday morning, but as of Saturday afternoon, over 200,000 ballots have been sent back in this election already. We know that folks are very excited to be voting in this election, from the top of the ticket all the way down, flipping that ballot over so you can look at the propositions on the back. And of course, y'all know that I'm going to say yes on 208, and that's where I want to end the conversation. Where I actually start my ballot. And what I think all of us could be doing right now, my call to action for all of the DGT audience today is to get out there, turn out the vote, and to remind folks to start at the bottom of their ballot and work their way up. We need to vote for Biden and Harris, absolutely. We need systemic change at the top of the ticket. And I believe that the Biden-Harris ticket will absolutely get us there. Betsy DeVos has got to go. She has been disastrous for education and destroying our public education system throughout the entire country. We also have Mark Kelly to elect and make sure that we have a Senate that will reflect public education. And as we move our way down, we have state legislative races throughout LDs 9 and 10, 3, 2, 11, 4, all the ones that touch Greater Tucson. We've got to make sure that we get out the vote for those candidates, because we need to get legislators up in Phoenix that understand what public education is about. As a potential school board member, I need to be able to advocate with legislators to say, this is the kind of funding that we need. This is what it means in our classroom for when you mandate high stakes testing or when you start putting in certain regulations about curricula. So having folks in office that understand education, super important. And we keep working our way down and we get to those school board races where you'll find me, the Tucson Unified School District race, about midway down your ballot. And I'm asking everybody to vote for me because that teacher perspective is a unique one that is different to anything that any other candidate is bringing. And I would like to thank the other candidates for being here today and what they've brought to the race as well. 3 of us will be elected, and I think that for most of Tucson, you can find 3 voices that represent and reflect your values, and I'm asking you to make sure that you vote for those right values. There is a candidate out there right now that has said things like that he wants to potentially arm teachers, that he's against Prop 208, that he's against restorative justice and practices in the classroom. And to me, that is not the direction TUSD needs to be going. We need 3 board members who can bring different ideas, independent voices, have a discussion with one another, work collaboratively, and then come together on a decision and do what's right for our students and our educators and the entire district. So I'm really looking forward to getting to work. I hope to be one of those voices elected. So don't forget to do that middle part of the ballot. As we keep going down, we've got the judges. There's some great information for y'all to check out on the, there's some different websites to check out on the judges, but then when you flip that ballot over, we get to my favorite thing to talk about, which is Prop 208. This is the Invest in Ed, or the Red for Ed initiative, in which if the voters pass it, it will restore almost $1 billion of funding to our classrooms for teacher salary, for support professional salary, and for one of my favorite things, career and technical education, dual enrollment, and AP. I'm a dual enrollment teacher. I'm sure a lot of you already know that about me. I teach high school English, so I'm a certified secondary teacher, meaning I'm a high school teacher, but I'm also a college writing faculty teacher, and I teach my district's dual enrollment writing classes. Dual enrollment programs open up a huge door for us and our students, and I mean that in 2 ways. For us as a district, it allows us to be competitive and bring students into the district and get something that they can't get at a charter school. It also allows our students to graduate with real college credits in their pockets when they walk across the stage. They are ready for college because they've had a rigorous class, and they have also had no tuition to pay to get those college credits. I'm a big fan of, there was a couple years ago, a student who graduated from Santa Rita High School with 61 credit hours. That kid graduated high school and at the same time became a college junior on the same night. So Prop 208 will help us fund those programs, and I'm looking forward to its passage, and I'm hoping that everybody in DGT can continue to do outreach to help get those ballots turned in. And having that conversation with folks, I find that if I start with 208 and work my way back up to the top of the ticket, folks are really engaged and excited to vote for an education ticket, and that starts to me with Prop 208. So I always say, start at the back of the ballot, flip it over, start with Prop 208, and work your way up. Don't forget Prop 481 as well, for Pima Community College, as a way to ensure that the college doesn't have to raise tuition on our students. So this is really an education year for us, and I want to end my time in my video by saying, thank you for allowing me the space. Thank you for creating a campaign in which a teacher could bring those ideas to the table, and I know that with your help, with your support, we're going to get there on Election Day. I remain open to everybody. A lot of you have my cell phone number. It is 500-7811. Feel free to call or text me. Just remember, I go to sleep like 9 p.m., so if I have to, I'll call you back the next morning. And then we've also got my website, adamfortusd.com. check it out. See if you can spread the word to your family, friends, and network. This is going to be a huge election, and we need every vote, every single person across Tucson to make sure that their voices are heard in this election. And with that, I'm going to say thank you, everybody, and now I'm going to get to my classroom and get ready for my students to come back in. So stay safe, everybody. Thank you.